everybody. It's the Freshmen RadioHeads here at WHIT Radio.org. We've got Elizabeth, Ulysses, Robert, Daniela, Jessica, Javier, and Carolyn. We have an exciting show for you today. It's ancient civilizations. We're going to be talking about Rome. We're going to be talking about Egypt, the Byzantine Empire, the Renaissance, and it's all here on WHIT Radio.org. And let's start off the show talking about the Renaissance first. We're going to go backwards in time. We're going to start off with Javier. Tell us a little bit about the Renaissance.
All right. Well, the Renaissance, it was a very beautiful time for all of Europe when art really took over. There were many artists such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, Sandro Botticelli, and the names just keep on going. The Renaissance was really a time of enlightenment, and it rejuvenated all of Europe. Well, yeah.
It certainly did. It was new knowledge, new ideas. Galileo was actually thrown into prison because he invented the telescope and said that the sun, not the earth, was the center of the universe. So we had Michelangelo, we had Da Vinci, we had Copernicus, we had tons of people that made our life, enlightened our life. Thank you very much, Javier. And
thank you.
Going back, I know we're not spending a lot of time, but I got everybody in. We got Daniela, and now we have, well, let's start with Jessica, because we're going backwards in time, the Byzantine Empire. Jessica, what's that all about?
There was the second phase of the Roman Empire after Rome was split. The Byzantine Empire was the Byzantine capital was Byzantium, and it was eventually changed to Constantinople. Constantine founded the Byzantine Empire, and Diocletian was a man who nurtured the Byzantine Empire. It was next to Turkey and controlled the strait, so it became a trading capital.
Okay, Jessica, thank you so much. And now we got quite a few people, experts on Rome. We have Elizabeth, Robert, and Caroline, all Roman experts. So who would like to jump in first and tell us about Rome?
Danila.
Elizabeth, go ahead.
There's a lot I can talk about regarding Rome, but I'm just going to talk about some of their inventions, specifically architecture. Their architecture includes arches, columns, sculptures, and mosaics, and they were really beautiful.
Okay, they were beautiful. They also constructed aqueducts, and they had baths, and people would bathe. What I learned last show from Keating, they sometimes bathed 10 times a day. It was unbelievable. Caroline, what do we have?
Well, some of other things that they contributed to the world were the roads that they had.
Right.
They made them so they would be easier to travel on, and they were elevated in the middle so they wouldn't flood. And they also had the Julian calendar, which is like the type of calendar that we use today. And those are both really important because
we base our things. We base our government on them, with the Senate and the Republic that they had. Okay, Caroline, thank you very much. And not last but not least, Robert, tell us what little information about Rome.
Well, they had a lot of inventions, kind of like the concrete. They made concrete that can dry underwater. That was a very big invention for them. They spoke vulgar Latin, and again, like you said, they took a lot of showers a day. They stressed cleanliness, and they were constantly being invaded. Right.
The reason they eventually were conquered because they became corrupted, and they no longer wanted to fight their own wars. They conscripted other countries to fight their wars, and eventually it led to their downfall. Now, thank you very much, guys, for Rome. I know we could go much more into it, but we're short on time. Now we go back in time a little bit to Greece and Ulysses, and tell us about the Greek civilization.
I don't know much about Greece. I know more about Rome.
Oh, all right. Well, he's going to tell us a little bit more about Rome. Go ahead.
I'll be talking about Julius Caesar's dictatorship. By 47 BC, Caesar had won the civil war against Pompey, and he soon became a dictator. He planned a major reconstruction of republic government. Unfortunately, he was assassinated in 44. However, by a conspiracy of senators acting to save the republic. Mark Antony then stepped forward to power, while the Senate joined around Octavian. And after indecisive battles, the two put off final conflict in a second triumvirate, including Lepidus. And then finally, the former two broke, and Octavian defeated Mark Antony at Actium.
Wow. Thank you, Ulysses. That's good information. Thank you, Robert. And thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you, Caroline. We have 4 experts on Rome, and I hope you got that information, very relevant information. And last but not least is Daniela, and she's going to tell us a little bit about Egypt.
Okay, so I got facts about Egypt. So I got Egypt is the 34th largest country in the world, right? So some of the ancient Egyptians slept on pillows made out of stone. And they have like this joke that Egyptians are hard-headed because of that.
Okay. They're hot-headed, but hard-headed, okay?
Yeah, because they used to sleep on pillows that were stone.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. So do we have anything on the pyramids or any of the emperors? I mean,
yeah. The
kings
shape of
and
an
stuff.
ancient Egyptian pyramid is thought to have been inspired by the spreading rays of the sun.
Okay. Well, okay. We know the famous queen, who was Cleopatra.
Yeah.
And they also
King
invented
Tutsu.
The batteries and cosmetics. They were the first ones, actually.
Yeah, and they used a lot of powder too, like the slaves, to like say the difference between the poor people and the rich people. The rich people used to use powder, and they'd put it on their face. And since the slaves were always on working on pyramids, they were dark skinned, and because of the sun. So yeah.
And do you know that when a king died, they put him, especially it was a famous king, they put him in a pyramid and they put his whole staff with him, even though they were alive. They buried them alive. Amazing. As that saying, of course, and there was a lot of treasures buried in the pyramids, and there was always a curse put on those pyramids. Anybody that was robbing those pyramids to get them jewelry or whatever.
Oh yeah, they used to bury the people with jewelry.
So, Daniela, thank you very much.
You're
for that
welcome.
Egypt. I want to thank the whole crew here, Elizabeth, Ulysses, Robert, Jessica, Javier, and Carolyn. Thank you for listening to the Freshman RadioHeads on our different ancient civilizations. And you're listening to WHITradio.org. Keep it locked. Thank you.